people, it's me, Anja, my pronouns are she and her, and welcome back to my channel for part 12 of my favorite Sapphic books with Sapphic main characters. For those who don't know, Sapphic is an umbrella term for women-loving women, which includes non-binary people, and the first book on this list is called Anne of Greenville. This book is a YA contemporary retelling of Anne of Green Gables, following Anne, who's half Japanese and is Sapphic as well. This story is absolutely so good, and first of all, I love Anne as a character. I think that she is so whimsical and so wonderful, but also it doesn't appear that she's too juvenile or too young. You know what I mean? This book still stays YA. This book is so good and it's so well done. The plot was so intriguing and so well done. The characters were so well developed and so distinct. The Sapphic romance was so great and it was absolutely so well paced and it felt so natural. The story is so well done and I just really enjoyed it. It's so underrated and it deserves so much more hype because I just really enjoyed every single step of the way. I think that you can enjoy it even if you haven't read Anne of Green Gables previously. For me, I last read Anne of Green Gables more than 5 years ago, you know what I mean? But anyway, the point is this book is absolutely so good and it's so underrated. So with all that said, I would highly, highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called Nothing Sung and Nothing Spoken. This story is a YA historical fiction set in 1938 in Berlin, Germany, right before World War II, and it's set during the swing movement, and it follows this young Sapphic main character, and I love this book so much. It's one of my 5-star favorites from this year because it's absolutely so good. This book was one of my most anticipated releases of the entire year, and it absolutely lived up to those expectations and exceeded them. First of all, the writing is absolutely so lyrical and it's so pretty, and the setting is so atmospheric and it's so beautiful. The characters were so well developed and so distinct. The Sapphic romance was so lovely and so well paced, and it literally felt so natural. I love the story so much, and I was so emotionally connected to the events as well as to the characters, which is why I rated it 5 stars, because I absolutely loved every single second of the story and everything about it. Literally, this book is so good, and it deserves all the hype and so much more. So with all that said, I would highly, highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called Mooncakes. This story is a YA graphic novel following a young teen witch whose non-binary werewolf childhood crush best friend is being chased and hunted down for their magic. I hope that makes sense. This story is absolutely so good and I really, really enjoyed it. First of all, the illustrations were so pretty and it really made the story so much more immersive and atmospheric. The plot was so engaging and so intriguing. The characters were so well developed and so distinct. The queer representation was so lovely and so wonderful. The Sapphic representation in the romance was so cute and so adorable. This story is so good and it deserves all the hype and so much more. I would gladly read more graphic novels and other novels by this author and by this illustrator because literally they are so talented. This book is absolutely so good and the magic was so well done and so well incorporated. Literally this book is so good and I just really, really enjoyed every single second of it. So anyway, all that to say, I would highly, highly recommend this book. The next book on this list is called Displacement. This book is another YA graphic novel that follows a young queer teenager who's pulled back in time to witness her grandmother's experience during World War II in the Japanese internment camps. I hope that makes sense. This story is absolutely so good and I really, really enjoyed it. I love historical fiction novels, and the fact that this story was a graphic novel made the historical setting so much more atmospheric and immersive, if that makes any sense. The plot was so intriguing and so engaging. The time travel elements were never too confusing, and if anything, they made the story so much more interesting and so much more engaging, if that makes any sense. The characters were so well developed and so distinct. I loved the family dynamics so much. The Sapphic romance was so well incorporated and so well paced. This story is so good and it deserves all the hype and so much more. I love this book so much. Literally, it's so good. Anyway, all that to say, I would highly, highly recommend this book. The next book on this list is called The Sevenfold Hunters. This story is a YA science fiction story following two main characters, one of which is bisexual and the other one is straight. But she's like the straight token friend within their friend group. Like the queer representation within this friend group is literally so well incorporated and it's so well done. But anyway, the two of them are investigating what the aliens really want from them, what their school is hiding from them, and why the new recruit, which is, by the way, the bisexual main character, is really doing there. I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but basically this book is so good. It's so well done, and it's so well paced. First of all, like I mentioned, the characters were all so well developed and so distinct. Literally, the romances were so well paced, and they felt so naturally well developed. The plot was so intriguing and so engaging. The world building was so captivating and so atmospheric. I'm so excited to read the sequel to this book, which I think comes out next year, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm not quite sure. Anyway, this book is so good, and it's absolutely so underrated. I loved it so much because it was so engaging. I typically don't read science fiction that often because the world building tends to be too complicated for me to understand, but in this book, it was so immersive and it was so interesting. Like, this book is so good and it's absolutely so underrated. So anyway, all that to say, this book is absolutely so engaging and it's so interesting, and with all that said, I would highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called The Trouble with Robots. This story is a literary contemporary following two main characters, one of which is bisexual and autistic, and the other one is asexual, as they try to save their middle school's robotics program. This book is absolutely so fantastic and it's so awesome, and it's literally so underrated. First of all, the two main characters were both so well developed and so distinct and so awesome, and I love their friendship so much, as well as the friendship of their entire friend group. The plot was so intriguing and so engaging. The queer representation was so lovely and it was so well incorporated, and it really felt so natural, as well as the autism representation too. Literally, this book is so good and it's so well done, and I just really enjoyed every single second of it. Even the robotics elements, literally, this book is so good and it's so underrated. I will gladly read more from this author in the future because literally they are so talented. This book is so good and I just really enjoyed it. So anyway, all that to say, this book is so engaging and it's so interesting, and I would highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called How to Excavate a Heart. This book is a YA contemporary following a young Jewish lesbian who's a college freshman as she navigates a new romance during a new winter internship. This book is absolutely so good and it's so well done. This book definitely deserves all its hype and so much more. First of all, the Jewish representation was so lovely and so wonderful, and it literally felt so authentic, as well as the Sapphic representation. The Sapphic romance was so cute and it was so well developed, and I really enjoyed it. Literally, the plot was so intriguing and so engaging, and all of the other character dynamics felt so wonderful and so authentic. This author is so talented, and I'm so excited for their next book, which I think comes out in March of 2023. It's another middle-grade contemporary, similar to their debut. But anyway, the point is, their next book is going to be so good because this book was so awesome and it was so well done. Literally, their writing is so atmospheric and so captivating. This book is so good and it's so well done, and like I mentioned, it's so awesome and it deserves all the hype and so much more. Literally, the romance is so fluffy and it's so cute, and it has the same tone to it as love and other natural disasters. You know what I mean? Well, you really know what I mean if you've also read that book. But anyway, the point is, this book is so good and it's so well done, and I apologize that my review is so all over the place, but the point is, I would highly recommend this book. The last book on this list, and certainly not the least, is called Hazel is going to win this one. This book is a middle-grade contemporary following a young Sapphic main character who devises a plan with her new friends to take down the school's golden boy after discovering that he has been sexually harassing so many people within her grade. This book is absolutely so good and it's so well done. First of all, the subject matter felt so authentic and it's so timely and it's so important. The plot was so intriguing and so engaging. The characters were so well developed and so distinct. The Sapphic sexuality representation was so well done and it is so lovely. I love the friendships in this book so much. I was so immersed and so captivated by literally every single moment in this story because the writing was so good and so lyrical. I'm so excited to read more books by this author because I think that they have more books coming next year. If I'm not mistaken, like another middle grade and maybe a YA book too. But anyway, the point is, this book is so good and it's worth all the hype and so much more. So please do give it the love that it absolutely deserves because I would highly recommend it. So in conclusion, I hope this video helps diversify your bookshelf. If you haven't seen any of my previous Sapphic book recommendation videos before, I will leave in the description box below a playlist dedicated to all those videos in case you want some more recommendations. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below the bicycle emoji if you made it all the way to the end of the video. Thanks for watching and subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!